What's up, guys? I'm not sure if you've noticed or not, but 2016 is halfway gone. It's actually over halfway gone. It's flying by. I know it has for me. I don't know if it has for you. And there's been some absolute monster albums released already. There's some stuff on the way that I know is going to be just mind blowing. And when I think about the task coming at the end of the year, about having to rank and put my end of the year list together, I'm a little bit apprehensive of how I'm going to be able to do it. I don't want to extend the list much farther than what I usually do, which is about 20 albums. And like I said, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I've been blown away by so many albums already this year. It's been a very strong year for heavy metal and just extreme music in general. And for this video, I'm just going to kind of run through some of the stuff that I've really enjoyed so far this year. Maybe it's some stuff you haven't checked out yet, and maybe it's some stuff that this video will lead you to go try out. Maybe you'll enjoy it as much as I do. So I'm going to just get into it and kind of go through some of this stuff. The first one was one that came as a surprise to me that I enjoyed it this much. Wasn't expecting to like this at all. This is the newest, the only release from Poison Headache. This band was formed kind of out of the ashes of As I Lay Dying. I enjoy some of As I Lay Dying's material. I wasn't the hugest, or I guess biggest fan in the world, but I did enjoy some of it. Wasn't a fan of the Woven War material at all, but Poison Headache, it's wow. Definitely do yourself a favor and check this out. If you've been just avoiding checking it out because you're not a fan of As I Lay Dying or Woven War, don't miss out. Don't sleep on that album. The next one is the newest release from it's called Delirium from Lacuna Coil. This one also caught me as a surprise as to how much I actually enjoy this. Did not enjoy their previous, I guess at least previous two albums, maybe longer than that, at all. And I almost didn't even check this one out from those. I'm so glad that I did. Absolutely love this album. I can see this landing pretty high up on my end of the year list. The next one is kind of it's a death metal, thrashy death metal, I guess. It has thrash metal vibes to this as well. It's I got this in the CD lot that I opened on this channel, I guess. I think it was last week or week before. And I'm super happy I ordered that lot because I probably would never even have checked this album out if I hadn't got it in that lot. That's Ripper with Experiment of Existence. Super heavy, thrashy death metal on Dark Descent Records. I haven't spent enough time with this yet to make a full, just too much statements about it. But I've given it about 3 full listens that since I've gotten it, and I don't see this going anywhere in the rotation anytime soon. I will definitely, I will be super surprised if this doesn't make it high up on my end of the year list. So once again, definitely check this one out if you haven't. That's Ripper with Experiment of Existence. Next up, we have a one metal deathcore / metalcore project out of South Carolina. This is Abyss with I forget the name of the Darkest Depths. I should have known that. Do yourself a favor and check this one out. I still have the plastic wrap surrounding it's just a little thin line case. I left the plastic on maybe to protect the case a little bit. There's only 100 copies of this CD. It's super cheap. You can get on Bandcamp and order this for like $5. So they've only released 100 copies, so definitely get on this before you miss out. You will not be disappointed. There's a song on here called Bloodlust that I absolutely love. Super strong little 5-track, I think 5-track EP. Definitely check that one out if you haven't. Next up, we have what is probably my favorite release from this band's discography so far. We have Fallujah with Dreamless. I know some people were kind of turned off by this album, but like I said, I believe this is their strongest and most mature release to date. So definitely check this one out. Atmospheric kind of deathcore, atmospheric death metal on Nuclear Blast. Next up, we have some atmospheric black metal. You had to know the atmospheric black metal was coming. It's probably been my favorite genre so far this year, just from the releases. We have Eldamar with the Force of Ancient Land. Absolutely beautiful artwork on this. Absolutely beautiful music in this. The very first track is a beast, and it just keeps it's unrelenting from there. It's just atmosphere so thick that it may turn some of you off, but it's absolutely beautiful music. The next one's a band that this release kind of caught me off guard as well. I've enjoyed this band, but I haven't been a super big fan of this band in the past. But this is After the Burial with Dig Deep. This is another one that I feel like is the strongest release from this band so far. It's the first one of their releases that I've actually just had to go out and buy, make a point to go out and buy when it was released. So I hate the digipack that it came in, but I love the album. Next up, we have Fleshgod Apocalypse with King. It's a definite strong bounce back for the band. I feel like this album ties together some of the ideas and some of the attempts that they tried to do in their previous two albums, and they finally come to fruition, and it just flows in a masterful way. If you didn't enjoy the last two and you've given up on this band, do yourself a favor, check this one out. Very strong death metal release from Fleshgod Apocalypse. Next up, we have some symphonic black metal. This one came out very early in the year, but I knew after checking it out then that it was probably going to stick around on my favorites list for the year. This is Hyperion with Seraphical Euphony. Like I said, some very strong symphonic black metal. Do yourself a favor and check this one out if you haven't. Next up, we have some post-black metal, some, I guess, atmospheric post-black, even melodic post-black metal. This is Sorrow Plagues with their self-titled. Very strong release from this band. I know the kind of harmony on this may turn some people off, but most of those people aren't fans of that genre anyway, so you won't like it if you... So there's no point even checking it out if you know you won't like something. I was blown away with this. I had never heard Sorrow Plagues until this year. Kind of sad about that. Wish I'd have caught them earlier so I could have caught some of their earlier material on physical format. Next up, we have a super strong release. This one will be super high on the end of the year list. This is kind of a epic, atmospheric black metal. Kind of has some Caladan Brood vibe to it, summoning vibe. This is a Sojourner with Empires of Ash. Absolutely beautiful artwork. I know the Bound by Blood video on YouTube was getting passed around quite a bit. If you haven't checked out the full album yet or haven't grabbed yourself a copy, do yourself a favor now. So I just stop this video and go order yourself a copy. Absolutely beautiful artwork. Absolutely beautiful album. You will not be disappointed. The next one is a release off of Chuckcore. This is an unrelenting, just a monster of a release. This is a Man-Made God with Prima Materia. I enjoyed this one quite a bit more than what I was expecting to. I was super excited when it came in the mail, and it's been in pretty steady rotation ever since. Just a blistering deathcore. It's got some strong death metal vibe to this as well. Do yourself a favor and check this one out if you haven't. If you haven't even heard of them, make yourself familiar with them. This is a Man-Made God with Prima Materia. Next up, we have some, I guess, progressive doom metal, almost a psychedelic doom metal at times. We have a King Goat with Conduit. This is one that I usually don't just check it out based on the cover, but I was on Bandcamp one day and kind of stumbled across that, and the cover kind of intrigued me, and I checked it out. Wasn't what I was expecting, but it was better than what I was expecting. So this is, like I said, some progressive doom out of Brighton, UK. It's only 5 tracks, but it clocks in at right at an hour. So some long songs on that. If you're into that whole progressive doom or even psychedelic doom, give them a shot. You may actually enjoy them. The last physical release that I'm going to show on this is probably the front runner for my album of the year right now. I'm almost at a loss for words for this album. We have a Winterlore with their self-titled. I enjoyed their first full length quite a bit, and this one, in my mind, is even far surpassed that. It's black metal out of Salt Lake City, Utah. It has atmospheric black metal moments, and then at the same time, it even has some old school black metal vibe to it as well. I can see some early Immortal vibe to this. I don't know. I can't say enough good things about it. Definitely do me a favor and check this one out if you haven't, and let me know what you think about it. My favorite track from this release is the self-titled, just Winter Lore. And then there's another song called Marching Hordes on Warpath Old. Yeah, check it out. Do yourself a favor now. Stop this video. Go check it out. Next up, I'm going to talk about a few that I've ordered and that just haven't made it in yet. I know when I do these lists, I like to do things that I own on the physical format. Well, technically, I own these. I just they haven't come in the mail yet. The first one is I was talking about Man-Made God being an unrelenting assault. It has nothing on this next release. It's just oh my god. It will beat the hell out of you and make you love every second of it. It's the newest release from Nails. You'll Never Be One of Us. If you haven't checked that one out, go do it. I'm still waiting for my copy to come in. I hope it's here fairly soon because I'm excited talking about it. I want the CD here and playing. The next one is a band that I super enjoyed their previous release. Their previous had a bit more of an atmospheric vibe to it. That's the newest release from the black metal band Grief Rain. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with Grief Rain. They're not super popular. Their previous release was entitled Spring Illusion. And if you know me at all, I've ranted and raved about that album for so long now that it's ridiculous. Well, their newest release is a little bit darker than that. It's entitled Wolf Cult, and it's more got like I said, a darker, more occult vibe as opposed to the atmospheric vibe to it. But it's a super strong release. Definitely check that one out if you haven't. The next ones I have coming in is Air by Astronoid. That's another kind of it's hard to post black metal. Very it's hard to. I don't know if you're familiar with Skyforest at all. It's almost along those lines, but it's not even. It's there's so much harmony on the Air album that it's going to turn some people off. But I've grown quite fond of it. So that's Astronoid with Air. Let me see. I may have Lasker or Lascar. I ordered that one quite a bit ago, but from everyone that I've talked to that's ordered a copy, they said that they had to wait forever for it to come in. So I'm not getting super worried about it yet. And that's Absence, the atmospheric black metal album Absence from Lasker. Definite end of the year list material there. The packaging on it looks beautiful. Can't wait to hold it in my hands and check it out for myself. There's some things on the way that I think are going to be some strong contenders as well. I enjoyed what little bit I've heard from the newest Carnifex release so far. I'm looking forward to the new Despised Icon on the way. That looks like it's going to be super heavy. The Old Graves, they've recently released the first track from their upcoming album. I believe the first track is entitled Sumas. I could be pronouncing that. Or maybe that's the album. I'm not quite. I'm going to. Bear with me. I'm going to check this out real quick. Long Shadows is the name of the release that's going to be coming out at the end of July. Sumas is the name of the song. And it just from checking out that one song, it looks like it may be eclipse their previous release. And I'm super excited about that one. I think it's going to be a beast of an album. There's some other stuff coming that's just not popping into my head. Those are just the main ones. Let me know if you think I've missed over something from this year that you're loving already. Let me know in the comments, and I'll definitely check that out. As always, thank you for watching. Stay classy, and until next time.